we might chat about something that just happened. If you're unaware, the awards ceremony known as the Game Awards just happened yesterday. I actually meant to follow it up directly with this stream, but my internet was iffy yesterday. The Game Awards happened. And I think we might chat a little about it this stream. Partly because it's kind of relevant. Because Dredge, this game we're playing right now, was nominated for, I think, 2 awards. So, Dredge was up for the Game Awards. I actually voted for it. Come on. I voted for this actually for one of the two awards it was up for. I can't remember exactly the awards at the moment that it was up for, but it was up for 2 that are related to, I think, indie games. Filling in a little information while editing. Dredge was nominated for Best Independent Game and Best Debut Indie. I voted on it for Best Debut, but Viewfinder for Best Independent. Now, on with the show. Indie games in general. And I voted for it in one and the game of Viewfinder in the other. Because I really liked Viewfinder, but I also really like Dredge. They're both very, very good games in my opinion. I really like them. Viewfinder was that puzzle game we played earlier this year that was all about perspective manipulation within the puzzles. I loved that one. But honestly, Dredge here, I've been really enjoying it. Though, I don't think either game won either award. Unfortunately. So, one game that I do want to talk about in relation to the indie games that won, there was an indie game that won that had been on my radar a little. It's a game called... At the Game Award, there's this game called Cocoon. Now, the reason it's been on my radar is because... So, this game Cocoon, the reason it's been on my radar is that we have played 2 of the games created by... Okay, so I want to say Cocoon was made primarily... What was it? Actually, 1 second. Cocoon, Steam. Yeah, Cocoon was created from... I don't know how to say the guy's name. The lead gameplay designer of Limbo and Inside. We played both Limbo and Inside this year on a stream. So I don't know much of anything else about Cocoon other than what I just said now. And it looks kinda neat. It's a rather different style from those other 2 games, however. Yeah, I might put up a poll in the coming day asking if anyone's interested in Cocoon. So, one game, Alan Wake 2, won a number of awards. I was going to say prizes, but that's not correct. It's a game that looks interesting. I have seen a playthrough of Control, which I believe is made by the same people. And I'm almost interested in playing the Alan Wake games sometime. I think Control even takes place in the same world as Alan Wake. We might play... we might play the Alan Wake games at some point, especially if anyone else is particularly interested in them. It ran a couple of roads. I don't know a whole lot about it other than that what I said about it being made by the same people as Control. I think action horror story game, maybe. Yeah. While we're talking about what actually got awards, wait. I feel like I'm missing one. I'm trying to remember. I know Genshin Impact and... Oh yeah, Honkai Star Rail was up for... I think it won Mobile Game of the Year, which is kind of funny. I've been playing it a lot, but I've never once... I haven't even downloaded it on my phone. I don't play games mobile. So, yeah. I was actually... happy to see Honkai Star Rail in there, even though I was finding it kind of funny that it was Mobile Game of the Year while I haven't played it as mobile once. And I think Genshin Impact was up for Best Ongoing, which I think I voted for it for Best Ongoing, but I don't remember whether Genshin Impact won a Best Ongoing. There was also a bunch of like esports stuff and sports games, and honestly, I don't pay much attention to any of that, so anything else interesting? Oh yeah, content creator of the year was Ironmouse, which you may or may not know. She's a VTuber. I don't actually... I mean, I don't actively watch her content, but I've seen one or two things she was involved with. So, I'm actually kind of... I'm a little pleased to see a VTuber win Content Creator of the Year. I won't lie there. Now, I have left something out of the dialogue that I've talked about of the Game Awards. If you've watched the Game Awards, you might know it, because I'm saving the best for last as far as games that actually got awards. Unless I'm forgetting something. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 got a couple awards. Baldur's Gate 3, I think, definitely deserved all of the awards it got this year. I might actually talk about it in more depth another time, but I was just really, really happy to see it get the awards that it did get at the Game Awards. Yeah, I was really happy to see Baldur's Gate 3 get the awards. It got a bunch. It got the Game of the Year. It got a smattering of other ones. Astarion got the voice actor. Neil Nuban. They got a number of other ones. Fantastic for them. I'm not going to talk about it in depth here, because it would take too much of this stream. It would. There are a couple games. Well, okay, how do I put it? If you haven't seen the Game Awards, I want you to know what I'm talking about. The Game Awards kind of has sort of three sections. One that's awards, and these are all chopped up interspersed among each other. Awards, then game announcements, and then I guess just sort of other stuff. And I guess sort of game ads as well, but you could lump that into other stuff or game announcement. But anyways, there are a couple of game announcements I did want to touch on as well. While we do this, I've actually already wishlisted one or two. I've wishlisted a couple of the games that were announced at the Game Awards. Oh, though, before we get to the new games, I will say, they did show a trailer for Honkai Impact. No. Honkai Star Rail, showing a new, sort of new, kind of a new, but a new, in quotes, character that will be in the next. Actually, I don't know when it will be. I just know it shall be sometime soon. I can't remember what they called here what they called here in the trailer, but to those of us who have played the other games, she's known as either May or Raiden. The first game that I'm... Okay, the first one is... There's a game, and I'm going to say its name, and it's going to sound insane if you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a game called Pony... Wait. The game is called... Let's see. The name of the game is Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. So it sounds crazy, but you need context. Made by Dan Mullen? By Dan Mullen. Daniel Mullen. Yeah. And it is... Daniel Mullen made Inscription. Which I think is a brilliant game. We played it early on in the channel. Very early on. One of the very first games we played on the channel. And Inscription is now one of my all-time favorites. This game does look like it uses less... It's a little less card gamey, but it's still just as weird and bizarre. And in some ways, although I love the card game aspect of Inscription, in some ways the more important thing is the weirdness. If you watch, and I highly recommend you do, if you watch the trailer for Pony Island 2 Panda Circus, it's pretty wild, and you can certainly see the weirdness and comparison to Inscription. I cannot wait. The trailer set the date of like either 2025, 2026 as the release date. I'm of the opinion whenever it comes out will be good, and I will play it when it comes out. Almost like 99% chance I'm going to play that when it comes out. I can't wait. Inscription was so good. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Inscription, we have a weird guy to talk to up here. There was another game that I'm interested in maybe playing sometime that I saw announced at the Game Awards. I think we may play it on a stream sometime when it comes out, though it's probably years from a release. Maybe at least 2 years, I don't know. It could be a while, but the game, what was it? Light No Fire. It's made by the people who made No Man's Sky, but Light No Fire in some ways is similar in the concept to No Man's Sky, in that it's a massive concept. It's No Man's Sky attempted to create an entire universe full of planets for people to explore. Light No Fire is, I guess, more like one big, properly Earth-sized planet for people to explore. And it's fantasy. And in general, I often like fantasy more than science fiction, though I'm also a really big science fiction fan. So I'm super interested in this enormous fantasy world that they're making. Enormous fantasy open world that they're making. I'm definitely interested in trying it someday. Plus, they have shown as a company that even if the initial release of a game is disappointing, like people found No Man's Sky's initial release. I will say I didn't play it. People found No Man's Sky's initial release disappointing, but they recovered. They added what people wanted, and now it's an even better game. So I think people are gonna trust that even if this ambitious project turns out subpar at first, they will likely bring it up to standards. Yeah, so as long as I'm still streaming games, I'll probably be playing at least a little of Light No Fire when that comes out. But it's a massive game, though they've been working on it for years. So, don't know when it's coming out. I think they might have given a year that they were hoping for, but honestly, don't know. Don't know when. Oh, so there was, I think, one last game that I did want to bring up from the Game Awards that caught my eye in particular. Lots of interesting games. And there's other ones that, you know, could turn out to be fantastic, and I might even play sometime. But this is the third one that I guess it particularly caught my eye. The first two being, as mentioned, Light No Fire and Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. Those two. And then the third one that caught my eye is... The third one that caught my eye is one called... Actually, let's make sure I get the name right. No Rest for the Wicked. So it's like an action game, but one of the things that particularly caught my eye is the studio it's made by. I think it's a somewhat smaller studio, from, if memory serves, called Moon Studio. I've played... Oh, actually only one other game from them. There's another game from them that I actually own, but just haven't gotten around to playing. I need to get around to playing it. It's the two Ori games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I just haven't gotten around to Will of the Wisp. Blind Forest was incredible. So I very much trust the studio to get things right. Well, not entirely. But it's at the very least, it's a game that I trust the studio enough that I'm going to keep an eye out for any updates and trailers and other things, news related to it. So I want to know what happens with that game. I've given some of these more consideration and research since, but that's for another time. This has been my initial take on the Game Awards. Let me know your Game Awards thoughts, and YouTube thinks you may like this video.